presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Looking live at your on-time traffic report this morning. Hello, everyone, and welcome into another edition of Mornings on Main Street. I am your host today, Zach Womble, filling in for the legendary Nashville media darling himself, Joe Dubin, who is enjoying a nice vacation this week. As Chris Yao told you guys yesterday, he will be back tomorrow on Thursday, and I will close out the show on Friday. So very much looking forward to spending my mornings with you just after 7 a.m. this morning. Let's bring in the one that you know is the intern, but we call him Justin Kulik. Justin, good morning. How are you today?
Hey, how's it going, Zach? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, Justin. Doing very well. I joked with you this morning that, I'm usually up this early because I've got a toddler, but I'm not used to, being in the midst of it all, being in a routine. But this morning had to jump out of bed and get down here to the studio.
Exactly. Yeah, it's great whenever you pull out of your driveway and it's dark outside. It's just like I might be the only one here, but I just get mad at people sleeping. I'm like, are you sleeping over there? You better wake up.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I got up so early this morning that the dogs wasn't even ready to go outside. So. It's early then. Let me first just tell you this, Justin. I absolutely love your mustache.
Hey,
I wish I could grow a spectacular stash like that. So I'm jealous. Don't let Joe or anyone else tell you that Top Gun fade has passed or anything like that, because that stash is just beautiful.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. One time I got the best compliment ever on my mustache from a bouncer at a bar. I was walking in and he was just like this huge guy and he goes, "Nice mustache, bro." I was like, thank you. Like anybody else, like, wow, like a girl could have told me, I would have been like, that's great. But that guy, it's like,
yeah,
I get the most appreciation from guys. So I appreciate it. I know
yeah.
It sounds weird, but
no, I understand. I understand completely. Listen, today there is a lot to unpack today. We've got so many different interviews coming your way, whether it be with Titan insider Terry McCormick later on today. We've got Russell Van Ozey from Main Street Preps. We've got Full Count Rhythm general manager, head coach Josh Carman. So a lot to get into. But first and foremost, we're going to start this day off with a little food talk.
Love it.
Justin, today is National Fried Chicken Day, and that alone is a reason to celebrate. And it got me thinking, what are your top fried chicken fast food joints, whether it be here in Nashville or across the country, wherever? Let us know in the comments what your top fried chicken spots are. We're going to go down our list. Justin, You can start first as the intern, so I'm going to let you go. Your top fried chicken spots.
So fried chicken spot, I really enjoy the Popeyes fried chicken sandwich. Honestly, I know it's not. Is that fried chicken? Does that count as fried chicken?
Yeah, it counts as fried chicken.
Bone in it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Top one. Obviously, KFC falls very closely behind as a second favorite. And then third, I would probably go Zaxby's, to be honest.
Gotcha. Zaxby's is underrated and slept on, and I didn't even put it on my top five. I didn't even think of them. So here's what I've got. So I've got the GOAT. I'm with you. Popeyes, number one, all day, every day.
So good.
But then I decided to go a little different. I was introduced to this spot when I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. I had never had it before, and it completely changed my life. And I am talking, of course, about Bojangles.
Oh, yes, dude. Oh, my God.
The Bowberry biscuits are to die for, and the fried chicken sandwich is so good. So Popeyes and Bojangles, 1 and 2 for me.
Fantastic.
And really, to be honest with you, Justin, you could probably interchange those any day of the week, and I would be okay with that.
Absolutely. I agree. And real quick on the Bojangles, I had a funny story. I pulled up to their drive-through, and I don't know. I guess I'd never been there for other than a Bowberry biscuit, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, do y'all have spicy chicken sandwiches? Because I didn't see them on there. And the lady on the other side said, it's Bojangles. Everything's spicy. I was like, I love this place.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's delicious. It's one of America's staples.
Absolutely.
And then the third place that I've got, you may not be too familiar with, but it's out of Arkansas. It's a place called Slim Chickens. We got one in Hendersonville not too long ago. I believe there is one maybe in Mount Juliet. And I want to say there's a third location, but I can't remember exactly where it is. But Slim Chickens is to die for.
I got to check it out.
It's so good. If you're ever in Hendersonville, ever in Mount Juliet, make sure you check it out. And I know in Mount Juliet, it's on the north side of the town. So it's on North Mount Juliet Road over there. And in Hendersonville, it's right on Main Street. And then rounding out my top 5, I've got Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah.
And then a slept-on one. And I don't know if you can consider it because they sell more than just chicken. But I think a slept-on chicken tender, chicken sandwich is from Hardee's.
Oh, really? I've never had one from there.
Yeah, the chicken strips there are incredible. The fried chicken is good as well. But you know what? You said Zaxby's, and I didn't even think about them, but they've got to be in there somewhere. I mean,
Right.
Zaxby's, that hot honey mustard, I fall in love with every time I go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Isn't there Cane's chicken? Is that a thing?
Yeah, Raising
Okay.
Cane's.
Yeah.
So I've never had it. I don't know exactly where you can find it. I think it's in the Midwest somewhere, but they say the Raising Cane's with the sauce
sauce
is the GOAT, is the undisputed GOAT.
Right.
But my question to you is, Justin, it's like, is it just the sauce or is the chicken actually really good? Because
Great
everyone
question.
always tells you like you can't have the chicken without the sauce. So
Right.
is it the sauce that's the moneymaker? I'm not really sure.
I don't know. It's a great question because I thought the same thing, honestly. And I know we already talked about it, but Bojangles, that good sauce. Have you ever had that?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And I just drink that stuff. I don't know. Like sometimes I don't even touch the chicken. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, the sauce does make or break a Sammy for sure.
For sure. I didn't have this on the itinerary, but I wanted to ask you about it because I'm so enamored with this place. You and Joe last week went to Buc-ee's.
Yeah,
How
man.
was that?
Oh, it was awesome. It was everything you would think it would be. It's just funny because you ever been to a nice gas station, like you're driving a long way and you're like, I want to wait for a Pilot or like a Speedway.
Yep.
It's like this is like that, but times a million. /Walmart / they have 128 pumps.
That's crazy.
It's insane. People are there. They're not even like looking for something specifically. They're just like, whoa.
Yeah, I kind of want to just drive out to Crossville just to go. I mean, just at least now the trip to Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge or whatever, at least you got something to look forward to halfway there, right?
Gotta stop by Buc-ee's. They have amazing pulled barbecue sandwiches.
Yeah, we'll check it out. Hey, if there's anything that you will learn about me today or in the next couple of days, it's that I love food. So another food topic, Justin.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out for Culver's. I
Okay.
love Culver's. I don't know if you've ever had Culver's.
I've never had it.
You've never had Culver's. Wow.
So,
You are uncultured, Justin.
I
We
know,
have to
I feel
get
bad now.
we have to get you to some good spots. Listen, Culver's sells, I think personally, the best fast food burger you can find.
No kidding.
A lot of people will say Five Guys is your best fast food burger, but I have a hard time putting Five Guys up there simply because there's no drive-through. So
Right.
is it really considered fast food
Exactly.
if you have to go in and wait to get it? But Culver's is incredible. And if you love Culver's as much as I do, then you're going to want to get out to Bicentennial Capital Mall State Park today from 11 to 2 p.m. They are hosting a free Wisconsin with Love tour where they're giving out free food from Culver's
All
from
right.
11 to 2.
Ooh, I might have to go do that.
Yeah, so it might be a perfect opportunity for you to run over there and get one of their famous burgers. I know I love them. Their cheese curds, their ice cream, their custard is so good. So want to give a shout out to Culver's for hosting the free Wisconsin
Yes.
from Love food tour from 11 to 2 at Bicentennial Capital Mall State Park today.
I'm sure they're watching this too, so I can just be like, remember earlier Zach said that,
Exactly.
and they'll just be like, oh yeah, VIP, and they'll take the rope off.
I shouldn't give them a free shout out, but I just thought
No.
it's a free thing. It's a cool thing. Might as well give them some
Food day.
love. Exactly. And like I said, if there's anything you learn about me over the next couple of days, I love food, and I'm going to continue to talk about
I love
food. A little bit of NBA news here out of the mid-state over the weekend. Former Brentwood Academy standout and Vanderbilt guard Darius Garland inked his way to a 5-year, $193 million contract. Yeah, he was named to an all-star reserve this year in his 3rd year into the league, and he really I feel like he has taken that step into elite status for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So Garland averaged 21.7 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 8.5 assists on 47% shooting from the field this year, 89% from the line. So congratulations to the former Brentwood Academy standout, Vanderbilt Commodore Darius Garland, on signing his huge contract, 5 years, $193 million. Give a little round of applause.
Man, 193. Like, could you imagine seeing that on a paper? Like,
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, can I hold some, Darius?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I just hold a couple million, maybe 10 million?
I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, I mean, just keep your pockets light. You know, I don't want to put any burdens on you, so I can help take that relief of stress off
Exactly.
of you.
I'll just line up my best 10 jokes and be like, look, I can give you a joke for $1 million each.
That's right. Justin, before we jump into the break, I saw that you like to read your horoscope with Joe on the daily. So we're going to keep that a thing.
Okay.
Justin, do you want to read your horoscope for the people today?
Yeah, let me try to get it real quick.
Yeah, no problem. You know, this is the beauty of live. You know, you're not always ready to go. That's
Exactly.
on me. I should have put it on you.
Oh,
But
you're good, man.
like I said, we've got a jam-packed show today. We've got interviews with Titan insider Terry McCormick coming up after our first break. We're going to get in touch with Full Count Rhythm general manager and head coach Josh Carman. If you're not familiar with the Rhythm, they are Nashville's newest wood-bat college baseball team here in the city. And then we're going to close out the show with Russell Venozzi, who is the Main Street Preps editor, to talk about Nashville Preps, as well as a little bit of Vandy coverage that he has provided over the last month or so. So, Justin, is that horoscope ready to be read?
It is. So, all right. So my horoscope for today is, weren't you on the lookout for greener pastures? ? Never been asked a question before. Well, they're calling to you now. It's time to broaden your horizons. All right.
There we go.
I'll
And
do it.
could that be talking about this new studio that we're in?
Could be.
I mean, greener pastures. I mean, this is a very nice place. You guys
I
obviously can only see a little bit of it, but this is just a beautiful facility here provided by Main Street Media of Tennessee. And we are so grateful to be in the Nashville community. We are so grateful that you are spending your mornings with us here on Mornings on Main Street. Again, I am Zach Womble. I will be filling in for Joe Dubin today. I will be back on Friday, and Chris Yao will, of course, be back tomorrow on Thursday. But first, let's take a quick break. But coming up after the break, we welcome into the show Terry McCormick, our own Titan insider, to talk about all things Titan. So make sure you stay through the break.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It's your last chance to get a spring tune-up for summer. Complete Service Heat and Air can clean your coils, check out your motor, and make sure you have cold air on that first hot day of summer. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way. 24/7 service. Call us at 615-797-3997. That's 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. I am your host, Zach Womble. 7:16 in the morning on this Wednesday, July 6th edition, looking at the live traffic report there, on-time traffic. Again, welcome back. So glad you're joining us this morning on Mornings on Main Street. So excited to be here with you guys. Joining us first on the show is Titan Insider Terry McCormick. Terry McCormick just recently wrote a piece on Titan Insider regarding their offensive position battles going into camp. Terry, good morning. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you, Zach?
I'm doing very good. Terry, thank you so much for joining us here on Mornings on Main Street. Wanted to hit on your piece. I thought it was very good, very informative. If you haven't checked that out yet, make sure you head on over to TitanInsider.com. You're going to want to check out the Titan offensive position battles heading into camp. And up first is what I consider maybe the most important group on a football team, and that is the Hog Mollies, the big boys up front, the offensive line. Terry, you jump right into the right tackle, left guard battle between Dylan Raduns and Nicholas Petit. And I'm going to butcher his last name here, but Freery is how I'm going to say it. Ultimately, do you see Radun stepping up in his second year? Do you see the rookie taking over? What's kind of the perfect case scenario for the Titans, as who you said are replacing 40% of his offensive line from last season?
Yeah, I think Dylan Radens is the key here, because is he a right tackle, which is where they've been working him out at during the offseason work? Is he better at left guard? You know, once they decide that, then I think then everything else starts to fall into place. I think they want him to be the right tackle this year. And, you know, having drafted him as a second-round pick last year, I think they probably would have hoped that he would have been the right tackle last year, but he just wasn't ready from a physical standpoint to make that jump from North Dakota State, where COVID cost him most of his final year there, to play it in the NFL. So it was a red shirt year, if you will, for Dylan Radens. And now he's in a battle with Nicholas Petit-Ferrer, the rookie out of Ohio State, to see who's going to be the right tackle for the Titans. And if Radens wins that and they're able to season Petit-Ferrer and allow him to be a backup as a rookie behind both Radens and Taylor Lewan be the swing tackle, then that opens up the left guard spot between Jamarco Jones, who's a free agent they brought in from the Seattle Seahawks, and Aaron Brewer, who's a guy that has been around here now for about 3 years. He's been a backup both at center and guard. He's a guy that they really seem to like and are high on, and he would be my pick probably to have the inside track to win that job.
What's your perfect case scenario for the Titans this year on the offensive line? Like if you could pick the day one starters that you think is going to work the best, who do you think is going to get in there? Who do you think is going to win those battles?
Well, I think it would be Radens at right tackle, Brewer at left guard. That way, you have guys who are familiar with the system and what Keith Carter and the offensive line room likes to do in terms of their blocking schemes and all. I think the big key is this. We know that the Titans are a run first team, but I think the area where they have to improve is in the pass protection. So whoever protects Ryan Tannehill the best probably needs to be out there among that five, because I think we all saw that no matter who they're plugging in and where they're plugging them in over the last couple of years, Derrick Henry's been able to run and get his yards when he's been in there and healthy. So I think pass protection and improving that is really one of the keys in these offensive line battles to try and get the best five out there.
You bring up Derrick Henry, and that was my second question to you, Terry. What can we realistically expect from number 22 this year? I mean, can we honestly go into another season and think we've got another 1,500-yard back in our franchise, or do you think expectations should be kind of tampered a little bit?
That's a good question, and that's one that maybe there's no real answer to until we actually get out there and see the regular season start, or at least see what he looks like in training camp and practice in those joint practice sessions that are going to be coming up with the Bucs and the Cardinals here in August. I think the expectation is that Derrick Henry is going to come back and he's going to pick up where he left off. I think now several months removed from the surgery and being able to have a full off season of work in terms of rehab and rest and getting ready for this season, I think Derrick Henry is in top shape. I think he looks better than ever, and especially his upper body strength looks even more chiseled than he already was. I think the key is this. Derrick Henry just needs to get comfortable. It's like with any injury, you got to be able to trust that body part again. In this case, it's a foot. Like when guys have an ACL injury, sometimes it takes them a while to get to where they trust that knee again. Probably going to be the same thing in a little bit of that type of thing with Derrick Henry with this foot. He's got to be able to fully trust it again, know that he can make the same cut on the foot that he had surgery on as he can on the other one. I think it's a situation with Henry where this camp is going to be valuable to him to prove to himself that he's still, at the top of his game. And I think it's not unrealistic to expect him to run for 1,500 yards this season. I do think with the drafting of Hassan Haskins that it will allow the Titans to maybe not just, burn Henry to the wick the way they have the last few years with so many carries. You want to give that guy everything you got because he's so good. But at the same time, a guy like Hassan Haskins getting 6-7 carries a game to spell Derrick Henry at times wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I thought the Hassan Haskins pick was awesome and great to kind of replace Deontay Foreman. But Terry, moving into the tight end position that you looked at, I absolutely love what the Titans have done here, adding Austin Hooper in the offseason and then drafting what looks to be a physical specimen in Chig Akanawa out of Maryland. I'm sure I butchered that last name. How do you not gush if you're a Titans fan looking at that position? And do you think we kind of get the type of production that Jonnu Smith gave in his final season with the Titans?
Yeah, I think that Chig Okonkwo is probably the guy that they're hoping long-term turns into something similar to what Jonnu Smith was here. He has some of the similar traits in terms of he's a capable blocker. It's not really his strongest suit, but as a pass receiver, he's a guy who can make athletic plays down the seam and go into traffic and make catches. I think that's a guy that, they're going to hope that he turns into something sooner rather than later. That said, he's still a rookie, and there's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be some developmental time. And I think that's where Austin Hooper comes in. That was a very underrated signing by John Robinson this offseason. He and Ryan Tannehill have quickly gotten on the same page in training camp. Wouldn't surprise me at all, Zach, to see Austin Hooper lead this team in number of catches this season, given that A.J. Brown was traded away and that wide receiver is a little bit of a question mark right now compared to what they've brought in and upgraded at the tight end position.
Yeah, I agree completely, Terry. I think Austin Hooper, that tight end position, could, like you said, lead in catches and maybe even lead in yards, which kind of leads me to my next question, Terry. I mean, obviously you look at Robert Woods as probably the main guy, but is there anyone on that wide receiver corps that is going to threaten 1,000 yards this year and keep those defenses honest?
Other than Robert Woods, I wouldn't think so. Traylon Burks is still a mystery right now. I think they are in a situation where they have to get him healthy, have to get him up to speed conditioning wise and in the playbook. He has the potential to be a big time playmaker, along the lines of A.J. Brown, but you've got to get him out there and get him acclimated to NFL life and playing receiver in the National Football League. Beyond that, I think Nick Westbrook-Akina is a guy that has certainly made the most of a lot of the opportunities that he's had coming in here 3 years ago as an undrafted free agent. He's a guy that, has really blossomed and turned into a productive player, but I don't know that he'll ever be a number one type receiver that's going to give you 1,000 yards and 80 catches on the year. He's more of a number two, number three type of receiver. I think, one guy to keep an eye on too is Kyle Phillips, the rookie from UCLA, as a slot receiver. I think he's probably going to earn some time. And I know this will warm your heart, Zach. One guy who's been kind of a feel-good story of the offseason, let's see if he can carry it over in camp and preseason, is Station Camp's Josh Malone. He looked really good, seemed to really get on the same page with Ryan Tannehill during that OTA and minicamp work.
Yeah, really hoping Josh Malone stays on with the Titans throughout the rest of the year. Okay, Terry, before we let you go, we've talked offense, but let's look at defense. Not a ton of questions on that side of the ball just because of everyone that they've brought back this year, everyone that they've made important, whether it be Jeffrey Simmons, Harold Landry, whomever. I know you're working on a similar type of story for the defense. So let's give the listeners maybe a little bit of a taste of what maybe they can expect over at TitanInsider.com, maybe later today or tomorrow regarding your defensive battles going into camp.
Well, the defense, obviously, like you said, not as many question marks. I think one of the areas is going to be at one of the cornerback spots where they've got to see if Caleb Farley is healthy enough to be able to contribute and do some of the things that they were hoping he could do when they made him a first-round pick last year. He has the physical tools, the athletic ability. He, really has improved, they said, in the weight room and in the offseason, in the classroom and things like that. It's a matter of, can he make it translate? He's going to get a battle from the rookie Roger McCreary, second-round pick from Auburn, and the veteran Buster Screen is probably also going to figure into that mix somewhere. The other positions that are open really is on the defensive line where guys slot in behind Jeffrey Simmons and Danico Autry. What's going to happen with Larrell Murchison? Is he going to be able to hang on to his roster spot? Tierre Tart is being pushed hard by Naquan Jones to be that nose tackle that starts there. They're both going to probably get playing time there. They brought in some guys like Deshaun Hand and Kevin Strong who are going to battle for roster spots. It's going to be interesting to see how the depth looks and how it shakes out on that defensive line behind the two stars of Simmons and Autry.
A lot of fun questions coming up, especially with camp right around the corner. Make sure you give Terry Mack a follow on Twitter at TerryMC13 for all your latest Titan news. Terry McCormick, thank you so much for joining us this morning on Mornings on Main Street. Have yourself a great rest of the day and keep up the good work.
All right. Thanks, Zach.
You bet. That was Titan insider Terry McCormick to talk about his offensive position battles and defensive position battles heading into camp here in a couple weeks. We are going to go right into break, but coming up after the break, we jump in with head coach Josh Carman of the Full Count Rhythm, also general manager of Nashville's newest collegiate wood bat summer baseball team.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes, Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
It's your last chance to get a spring tune-up for summer. Complete Service Heat and Air can clean your coils, check out your motor, and make sure you have cold air on that first hot day of summer. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way. 24/7 service. Call us at 615-797-3997. That's 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
At the Nashville Zoo. Let's bring in our good friend Jim Bartu from there this morning. Jim, look at you. You're in the middle of a jungle.
I know. I feel like I'm in some kind of ethereal place with all this sunshine going on. So I can get some of that.
And then the next thing we're going to put in is our lemon juice. You're going to keep whipping up, keep whipping, and I'm just going to slowly pour it in there, and you can just incorporate all that beautiful juice inside the cream cheese.
Oh, yeah.
And
let's bring in our good friend, Jason Michaels. How are you, buddy?
I'm great. Thank you. That's very nice of you to say all that. And where the card just was just merely seconds ago underneath the card box, trapped.
Oh, come on.
The Queen of Hearts.
How old is Gary Busey?
I'm going to say 78.
I'm going to go 83.
He's 78 exactly. Good job, Jim Bartu.
Welcome back to your July 6th edition of Mornings on Main Street. This is your host, Zach Womble, just after 7:30 in the morning, 7:34 on your dot. Want to thank you so much for joining us this morning, whether you are on your way to work, already at work, or just chilling at home with the kiddos, drinking a cup of coffee and enjoying your morning. We want to thank you for joining us here on Mornings on Main Street. First time in the studio, and it is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful facility here provided by Main Street Media of Tennessee here in Nashville, Tennessee. So grateful to be here. The looking live sign is no longer here because during the break, she decided to fall. So I guess Justin didn't put enough tape on the side. So good job there, Justin.
Sorry about that, boss. I knew it was, I could hear it creaking.
Yeah.
A little bit, but I didn't think it was going to fall, but I guess it did.
It's okay. Listen, we've got a little bit of time before we welcome in Josh Carman to the show. So I wanted to pull up a little extra note that I found today, July 6th. Listen, I know there are a ton of reality TV show fans out there, whether it be Survivor, whether it be Big Brother, whether it be any kind of singing show. So listen, if you're into singing shows, this is for you. At the Ryman Auditorium tonight at 7:30, they are taping a episode of The Masked Singer with Natasha Bedingfield. So yeah, if you are a fan of The Masked Singer, if you are a fan of Natasha Bedingfield, or if you're just a fan of music in the Ryman Auditorium, make sure you head on over tonight at 7:30 over there to check out the taping of The Masked Singer with Natasha Bedingfield.
Yes.
I may actually have to take the wife to that one.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I wonder if it's bring your own pocket full of sunshine.
Yep, that's exactly right. You stole the joke right out from under me, Justin. Stole the joke from right out from under me. Listen, we don't have him in yet, but we're going to preview the Full Count Rhythm a little bit with Josh Carman. They are Nashville's newest Woodbat College Summer League team. If you haven't heard of them, I implore you to head on over to fullcountrhythm.com to check them out. And essentially what it is a college Woodbat Summer League team from all across the country. We've got players from Nashville, from Middle Tennessee, from all over the state of Tennessee, from colleges and universities from all over the state. But also you've got players from all over the country, whether it be Florida, Michigan, Ohio, California, you name it. I mean, last year they had a player from Japan on the team. So there is a lot to root for with this Full Count Rhythm team. They lost last night, unfortunately, but they had won 7 in a row. So they're 19-9 overall. They're 8-3 in their last 11, and I'm pretty sure they're first in their division, which is the South in the Ohio Valley League. And if you're not familiar with the Ohio Valley League, it's a bunch of teams out of Kentucky and one in Indiana. Is where Du Bois County is. But they play like 50 games in the summer, and it's 6 days a week. It's an everyday type of grind. And, it really takes a special type of player to kind of go through that. You really got to want to have those big league dreams if you want to play. Justin is telling me that we've got Josh Carman online right now with the Full Count Rhythm gear. Josh, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning, guys. How are y'all?
Doing very good. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Mornings on Main Street to talk about the Full Count Rhythm. We just kind of went over a little bit of snippet of kind of the season so far. 19-9 overall. You're 8-3 in your last 11. I know you lost 6 of 8 there in the middle of June, but since kind of been on a good streak before last night. You vied for the league title last year. You're vying for it again this year. What have you told players? What has been your pitch locally and across the country to get players to come play their summer league ball here in Nashville/Hendersonville, Tennessee?
Well, first, Nashville/Hendersonville is just a great place to come live. It's a great place to visit. Nashville is obviously a growing area, but more importantly, just the way we take care of our guys when they're here. Just assuring a college coach and the player that they're going to be well taken care of while they carry the load that they're going to carry during the summer, 6 days a week. Assuring them that they're going to be fine and capable to do that. Having the resources to get their recovery, the nutrition that they need to play 6 nights a week, and then living in host homes, having good quality host homes that's not going to put them on an air mattress, but give them a bedroom.
Yeah.
And access to laundry and feed them. So it's a lot, but we feel like we do that very well. And Nashville is obviously a big draw.
You know, you hit on all the points that I wanted to talk to you about, because I think you're so spot on, whether it be your work with Framework Athletics or CrossFit Hendersonville, partnering with them to train, to these wonderful host families that you've got. You've really built something special here in Nashville/Hendersonville, Tennessee. Did you ever expect it to get to this point when you started formulating the thoughts of bringing this team to Hendersonville with Jacob Oldham?
Well, it's what you dream about, right? When you sit down and you cast out a vision, you know, very few times does it work out exactly like you envisioned it to this quickly. You know, usually there's some growing pains and some things you got to work around, but yeah, it's worked out incredibly well. With the facilities, they're first class. I think in my opinion, they're unmatched in the country for college summer baseball. Having a 10,000 square foot gym for the guys to work out in, and then right next door you got a 10,000 square foot baseball facility that's got all the technology in it, anything they need to work on their craft and improve. And then there's a ton of knowledge inside that building as well, having 3 former big leaguers in there. So yeah, it's something that when you cast a vision, again, it's you think it's going to take you several years to get there, but we've gotten almost there fairly quickly.
Yeah, I feel like you found a formula for success. In Hendersonville, honestly, and Nashville as a whole, is kind of just they want something to cheer for. They want something to do in the summer, and I think the Full Count Rhythm are the perfect thing to take your family to the ballpark to see a game. You've got like 26 opportunities to see them at home. I mean, you play this robust schedule. You hit on it. You play 6 days a week. Josh, you were already the general manager last year. Now you add head coaching duties to your plate that was already just full. Have you had any time to sleep, Josh?
A little bit. It's late nights, it's early mornings, and I guess I just need to play and then get the trifecta going. Yeah, if I can do the GM coach and play.
Yeah, that's
the old days where you can be a player coach.
That's right. That's right. Checking if you got any eligibility left. We'll check with the with whatever governing body we need to get in touch with.
That's right.
How many pitches are you good for, Josh?
Throwing it?
Yeah.
Whew. I may lose my arm on the first.
Fair enough. Listen, we've touched on this a little bit, but I want to hit on it more because I think it's one of the most important pieces that you've got going for you as far as your success, and that is your host families. Who helps organize that part of the ministry / ball club, and what kind of response have you gotten from the players?
Well, when you have something this big and you try to be very successful at it, it takes a village. I sit in a seat where I get a lot of credit, but I'm quick to pass that credit on to the people who deserve it. And we have a whole village of people that help out, try to make this thing as good as possible. And, so there's a group of people that help out and put their efforts in to make this thing run smooth. And our host families are incredible. There's a group of us, our Full Count Ministry staff works for the other 10 months of the year to make this machine run. And a big part of that is our host homes, and they're absolutely incredible.
Most certainly. I've gotten to know several of the families over the last couple of years. And like you said, just really good people that you've been able to partner with. I'm sure people are wanting to know, Josh. So please tell everybody if they want to support the Full Count Rhythm, how can they do that? Where can they go to support you guys?
Well, yeah, you can go to the website at www.fullcountrhythm.com. Obviously, we're we're a nonprofit. You know, when you do things well, it takes resources, and so you can become a sponsor, you can become a host family. Another layer that we add on is we add a player mentor to every player. They have a male influence in their life. It's somebody that maybe takes them out to lunch or dinner and invites them over to their house, or maybe takes them to the golf course on their off day. And so there's a couple ways you can get involved there. And then two, just, you know, come to the games and support these guys. Get to know them. They're real people. They've got names, and they've got stories. They're a great group, and they play pretty good baseball.
Most certainly. And I know last night was a tough loss to Hoptown, but, you know, a fun night honoring first responders last night. I mean, there's a lot of good that you guys do in the community. So people, if you're watching, if you're listening now, if you want a good organization to partner with, or to just to support, I would encourage you to support the Full Count Rhythm. What they're doing in Nashville and Hendersonville is pretty awesome. It's pretty spectacular, giving these guys a place to play baseball, play a game that they love. And I think one of the best things it says about your program, Josh, is Carlos Lara, a player last year who plays on the team, comes back this year to step in as an assistant coach. I think that just says everything that people need to know about you guys. That you're a great atmosphere to be around, that, you know, that people want to come back and be a part of this thing.
Yeah, you know, they say actions speak louder than words, and we hear quite often, being our second year in the league, that we're a first-class organization, that we do it right. You know, you hear players talk about it. We do surveys at the end of the season with the players, and we want their honest feedback, and it's anonymous, and those come back, you know, 95% good. You know, some things we can't control are in there, but actions speak louder than words. And then when you have a former player who's going into grad assistant coaching and he wants to come back to coach, it means a lot. It means that we are doing something right, that they want to be a part of it. You would think that a new coach would try to go to the biggest and best league or team in the country, and the impact that was made on him last summer here in Hendersonville, Nashville was substantial enough for him to come back as a player. So that means a lot to me. It means a lot to our organization, and it just tells us that, you know, we're moving in the right direction.
Josh, we want to thank you this morning for joining us on Mornings on Main Street to talk about the Full Count Rhythm. You got a game tonight on the road at Franklin, so can't see them tonight, but certainly got a home game coming up later this week, if I'm not mistaken. Again, please visit fullcountrhythm.com to check out the schedule, the roster, and see how you can support these guys here in Nashville as the newest Woodbat Summer League College League team. Josh Carman, have yourself a great rest of the day.
Thank you, Zach. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. That was Josh Carman, GM/head coach of the Full Count Rhythm. Justin, I'm going a little bit off script here, but I see we've got not a lot of time left before the end of the show. Should we go to a commercial, or should we bring Russell right into the fold?
I say let's bring him in.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's skip the break, and we'll jump in with Russell Venozzi, Main Street Preps editor, to talk about Nashville Preps and Vandy stuff. Good morning, Russell. How are you?
Hey, Zach. I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You like this new studio that we got here?
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful background you got. It's almost as nice as the one that I have, of a nice beige moving paint wall and a TV, and yeah, no, we're killing the background game today.
Exactly. Well, you missed the live neon sign that we had up, but see, Justin didn't put enough tape on it, so it fell down during the commercial break.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, listen, hey man, we're gonna jump right into it. First off, how's your downtime been? I mean, since the end of spring fling, have you at least maybe been able to enjoy a little bit of kicking back and relaxing? I mean, you've wrote so much. Have you taken any time off?
Yeah, I took a little bit of time off to go on vacation, a mini vacation, but no, it's been good to kind of have a different pace, just because last August to May was, I mean, just nonstop. You know how that is. So No, but it's been good, and there's been plenty to keep us busy this summer. Plenty of news, coaching changes and commitments, college commitments, just all kinds of. There's really no off time for news. So we've been keeping up with all that. We've been kind of looking we've been looking back at the spring seasons and wrapping all of that up, and now we are, believe it or not, looking towards football season and starting to get prepared for that.
Crazy. It's crazy. Listen, you've written several pieces this month, from CPA wide receiver London Humphreys committing to Vanderbilt to former Hillsborough and Trevecca baseball player John Anderson making the Bachelorette cast. You've got good pasture standout Isaiah West staying home to play for Vanderbilt, etc. Has there been any news that has surprised you this month? And do you have a top headline from the month of June?
I'm not sure about a surprise, but I'll say kind of the overarching storyline from June was just like how many rising college seniors were ready to make their decisions and announce their commitments. And it wasn't just like, a couple here or there. It's like a lot of big names have decided, hey, I'm going to play in the SEC, or I'm going here, I'm going there. And so I was looking at it earlier, and I believe for football, for the class of 2023, there are now 20 national area guys that have committed to Division I colleges, which at this point in the year, I think is definitely above average, definitely above last year's class. It's a lot deeper class this year. And so that's something that's really stood out. And fortunately for us, it's kind of kept us busy too, because people love recruiting, and it's just something that kind of gets people talking and generates a lot of interest. So it's been a real good thing.
Speaking of recruiting, I want to stay in the Metro Nashville area, and I've gotten the opportunity to see Overton quarterback Ryder Hagen play once when they came to Beach in Sumner County, and I thought he was a really good quarterback. So it doesn't surprise me at all to see him commit to the next level. You quoted as saying finding the perfect fit at Tennessee State. What can Metro Nashville football fans expect from Hagen and the Overton Bobcats in 2022?
Yeah, well, I think they got a taste of it last year.
Yeah,
that first year under Coach Arcente Broom to go in 7-5, that was a huge step forward for them, and a lot of it was because of that offense and the quarterback play from Ryder Hagen. I think he threw for almost 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. So I think you can expect an explosive offense. They've got a couple of really talented receivers, Juice Majors, who has several big-time offers. You've got Tyson Edwards, a wide receiver defensive back combo who just committed to Memphis a few weeks ago. So I don't want to make any too bold predictions here on July 6th, but Overton is a team I've got my eye on, especially in the Metro Nashville scene, is a team that has a chance to make the playoffs and maybe make a run too and have a really good season. Because when you look at the schedule that they've got, I don't see a whole lot of teams on that schedule beating them with the team that they've got.
Yeah, most certainly. I think it could be a very exciting football season for Overton Bobcat fans, Metro Nashville fans as a whole. Listen, I know it's football season, but I want to go to the hardwood because one of the biggest recruits in the state, the number one prospect in the state, Isaiah West out of Good Pasture, committing to Vanderbilt and Coach Jerry Stackhouse. Now, you have followed him very closely since his time in Springfield when he was in middle school. Did you know back in the early days that he could end up in the SEC and the state's number one prospect?
Yeah, the first time I saw him play, he was a freshman at Good Pasture, and that was kind of the story I did at the time was, hey, this guy could be Nashville's next basketball star. And it's really panned out that way, despite him missing, a lot of last season with a knee injury. But he's developed into a really fantastic player. He's got all the measurables and kind of all the attributes you'd want in a future college basketball player. And so now the big thing for him is just to get healthy and to kind of get back in the swing of things. But I think Vanderbilt's a great landing spot for him. He gets to stay home. Everybody from Springfield and Good Pasture can easily come see him. And, Jerry Stackhouse has kind of got some momentum over there at Vanderbilt too. After some very lean seasons, they had a nice run to the late rounds of the NIT last year. And it seems like they kind of have some proof of concept now. So I think that level of success probably made it an easier sell to get somebody like Isaiah West. And so hopefully for them, that's going to be a good thing.
Do you see Isaiah as the type of player that will come in and immediately make an impact, get on the floor as a true freshman?
That's hard to say. I'd say there's a chance, but it probably just depends on what Vanderbilt's depth chart looks like at that time. With the transfer portal and everything the way that it is. I mean, there's just no way to forecast what that roster will look like and after next season when he joins. But I'd say, if he's able to get back to full health this season and, play well for Goodpasture and kind of get all the rust off, from being on the sideline for so long, then it's certainly a possibility just because he's such a talented player. And I'm sure by then physically he'll be ready too.
Certainly. One more question before I let you go. That's a football question. We're getting ready to come out of the dead period, so we're getting right into summer workouts / fall camp. Do you have any top Metro Nashville football questions going into these summer workouts?
Yeah, I think just taking a step back and looking at the big picture of the area, a question I've got is what's the gap between CPA and Lipscomb Academy? Is it still a huge one like there was last year when Lipscomb Academy won both of those games, including the state title game? I think 60-something to 0.
Yeah.
That was kind of a shock. So it'll be interesting to see where those two teams stand because they both graduated quite a bit of their core guys. And then you look at some of the other top teams from last year, like Summit and Oakland met in the 6A title game, and they lost a lot of their big names too. So it'd be interesting to see where they stand. And if they're down a little bit, maybe that opens the door for somebody else. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I mean, when you're looking at the Metro Nashville team specifically, I think you gotta look at Overton, like we mentioned, and then another team that's got a second-year coach is Hillsboro, and with Anthony Brown, and they kind of got some of their early struggles out of the way last season and really turned it on and almost made the playoffs at the end of the year. So that's a team to watch. Cane Ridge was a little bit down last year, but they don't stay down for long. They've got a ton of talent, a lot of future college guys on that roster. So those are some things I'm looking for. I'll probably have a better idea of exactly what to look for in a few more weeks when we get some more intel on the teams. But it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be here before we know it.
Most certainly. Listen, if you're looking for high school football coverage in Metro Nashville, there is none better than Russell Venozzi and our team, along with Tyler Palmatier. They do a wonderful job covering the Metro Nashville area. So make sure you're heading on over to mainstreetpreps.com to see all the latest from Russell and our team. Russell, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yep. Listen, we've only got a couple more minutes of this show, so we're going to rapid fire celebrity birthdays to end it off. Justin, are you ready?
Let's go.
All right, Kevin Hart. You know who Kevin Hart is?
Yes, I do. All right, Kevin Hart is a good one. Let's go 44?
42.
Hey,
there we go. All right, listen, just a beautiful composer, 50 Cent.
Yes, he is. I mean, just the way his ballads are fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's go 51.
46.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, 46.
Okay.
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, yeah. I know that was horrible. Let's go 61.
75.
What?
Yeah.
Rock?
Couple more before we let you go. George W. Bush.
W. 67.
75.
Oh, wow.
Yep, another 75.
These are good ones.
Couple more. Zion Williamson.
Ooh, Zion. Let's go. Man, 25?
21.
Oh, wow. I'm off.
21. Couple more.
Yep.
Former Lakers star Pau Gasol.
Okay. Let's go 48?
41.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
Struggling.
So
We're on the
bad at
struggle
this.
bus. We're on the struggle bus. The Dalai Lama.
The Dalai Lama. Oh, I don't know. 78?
86.
Yeah.
86.
You got me on this one.
Yeah. Last one.
Yep.
Last one. Baseball star. So I don't know if this is going to help you or not, but Manny Machado.
Manny Machado. All right. I have the show on PS4, so I did get his card, but I don't know his age. Let's go 38.
29.
Oh.
29.
Way off.
All right. Actually, you want to do one more?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Former star of Sister Sister.
Okay.
Tia Mowry.
All right. Let's go. 33.
43. A tough day at the office for the intern, Justin Kulik. But it has been so much fun.
It has, man.
Spending this morning with you here on Mornings on Main Street. I want to thank Joe Dubin and Dave Gould for giving me this opportunity to step in and do this show with you. It has been a ton of fun.
Absolutely.
I will see you on Friday for the week's final show. Chris Yao will be back tomorrow for Mornings on Main Street. Make sure you stay tuned and stick around and join in at 7 a.m. as we bring you all the latest fun for the day. For that, I am Zach Womble, and you have yourself a beautiful rest of the day.
Those spins, man, those come from the diaphragm on those. Are you ready?
Scamper around like a little rascal. Yes. Work it. Yeah. That was perfect.